Hello, everyone. It's the Jarek Brian Show. My name is Jarek, and on today's show, guys, we've got a very cool guest. We've got Zeus from Crashr Marketplace. And Zeus, how you doing, buddy?
Doing amazing. How about yourself?
Doing great, Zeus. And I definitely want to learn more about your project, though. But before we get into all that, kind of give us your story on your journey here to Web3.
Definitely. So before this, I was in the Web2 financial field. I was in banking for about 2 years. And then I started my own little clothing company startup. And that's my first introduction to Web3 is I wanted to bridge tangible into digital. So that was my whole goal. And now here we are after a few trial and errors and a few startups, found my way fully immersed in Web3.
Oh, yeah, man. And, the way I kind of started too, I tell everybody, I started more like on the Dogecoin route though, but yours seems like, a lot more put together than mine. As we talk about, what you guys are like trying to build, kind of give us some more info like on Crashr and what are you guys trying to do?
Yeah, so Crashr's ultimate goal is to change Web3 commerce. We see Web2 commerce and how people interact when it comes to buying and selling products and socializing with them, negotiating or whatever it may be. We want to bring that to Web3 because we know there's no forefront to communication on Web3 because it's so digital. So our goal with this is to bring communication, bring connectivity to when it comes to buy, sell, trading, NFTs, tokens, offering, and etc.
Yeah, and so are you mainly going to be on the Cardano blockchain, or are you going to be kind of like multi-chain, or are you going to be just starting off on Cardano when you first launch?
We'll be multi-chain. So right now we launched the marketplace and Raffle system, so that's fully live right now, which I'm happy to dive into a lot more features. But we built a presence on Cardano, which is great. Cardano so far has been really great to us as far as transaction speeds, the whole concept of the blockchain. So we decided to take the first step into Cardano. But our goal is definitely to bridge to Polygon, and then after Polygon, go into as many chains as possible.
Yeah, and kind of like talking about that too as well. Like how has it been so far, like on Cardano, and how is like the kind of like working with like the foundation or like basically anybody in general in the actual Cardano community?
It's been great, honestly. I really love the Cardano community because it's very tight knit and everyone kind of knows each other, which is great. It's very passionate builders on Cardano. A lot of people care a lot about the next steps of growing. So just being on it, honestly, has been a great thing, connecting with other founders and seeing their future roadmaps. And they all have very, very big visions within Cardano. So I think it's a great forefront building grounds just being on Cardano.
And kind of in talking about that, like what was some of the reasons why you chose Cardano first?
So I was introduced to Cardano first when I wanted to bring over my streetwear company to Web3. And then from then I was looking at a lot of CNFTs. And that's what caught my eyes was the whole ecosystem and how the community is. I noticed it was very fast-paced, very tight-knit, very exclusive, and I love that. And being into streetwear and all this stuff, exclusivity is a key, big thing for me. So I noticed that, and just being on it more, I fell in love with it. I looked into it, looked into a lot of the technicals on the blockchain, and just thought this is the best place to start as far as low cost of starting up. To be fully transparent, it's a lot less startup with gas fees and whatever it may be. And also just being a part of the community, knowing a lot of people already, just getting my way through it. I was like, this is the best place to go.
Yeah, and definitely like Cardano definitely needed like another like NFT marketplace because JPEG of course was kind of dominating, and I can't remember the other marketplace that closed down. Oh man, was it CNFT?
Yeah, CNFT. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like right, and like there was just kind of like JPEG, and it's nice that we're gonna have like I want Cardano to grow. Cardano is where I started off at, and I definitely want a lot more different variety, different marketplaces. But how are you gonna like? How are you different from some of the other Web3 marketplaces, and like in terms of like experience and functionality?
Yeah, no. So, I noticed that too is there's only one marketplace really on Cardano with like 92+% of market share, which is huge, right? Like there's no diversity when it comes to different marketplaces, and feature wise too. I mean, in general, in like economy, when you have like a one large market share, market taker, the innovation gets it's hit because it's harder for people to get into the space. And that's what we were thinking, is instead of being just a full head-on competitor with JPEG, sure, we're bringing a marketplace, but our goal is to bring a lot more layers on top that differentiates us from just the marketplace. And that's mainly the social connectivity side of it. So down the line, right now we have the marketplace fully established, and that's where you can buy, sell, trade. We have different NFT offer where you can offer up to 10 NFTs, and also have a shopping cart. So the shopping cart was our pinnacle part, where it's like you can add to cart a bunch of different NFTs at once, put them in your shopping cart, check out all under one transaction. Saves you the time of going through signing a bunch of transactions. You can all do it through a shopping cart. And a lot of other features we have that, for example, sweeping tool, we integrated the collection offers, instant sell. We brought those all to the marketplace, but our goal is to bring the connectivity. So direct messaging is going to be the next on our roadmap that we're going to implement, and slowly implement some more messaging features and connectivity features to slowly convert the marketplace from just a transactional point to a communication point, where if you listed an NFT, I can conversate with you and kind of offer you, or see, what else would you want other than one NFT for another? Would you want some tokens? Would you want some, this other NFT I have that's super rare that you can't put a market price on it? I can directly talk to you about that and offer it to you. So that's kind of our whole approach with this, to just bring the connectivity mix to the marketplace.
Yeah, and is that basically going to go off of like the social commerce part, what you guys are talking about?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's very different. I would like to have like shopping cart and be able to message, the person I'm trying to buy an NFT for. Like maybe we could do some swaps, like and things like that, and kind of throw stuff in there. But as far as like what other kind of like blockchains are you guys going to try to be on? You said Polygon. Is there any other blockchains you're actually looking at right now?
So as of right now, I'm spearheading Polygon, but the goal also is down the line get some smaller chains involved.
Yeah,
I noticed there's a lot of new smaller chains getting involved, and all these ZK protocols getting built, and they're offering grants as well to get some more projects on board. So there's a handful of them I'm trying to get to, but once we get some hard hitting ones that are going to be guaranteed, it's going to be fully on our roadmap. But the goal, with getting onto other chains, is to bring more light on Cardano as well, and vice versa when it comes to bringing Cardano onto other chains. There's a big community on Cardano, and there's a massive community on Polygon, right? And kind of bringing this bridge over of new members of Cardano onto Polygon and new Polygon members onto Cardano. That's going to be a great thing. And when it comes to onboarding too, one big thing is bringing Web2 users onto Web3. And that's the whole part with simplicity, is, whatever we're building is bringing an all-in-one platform where you can buy, sell, trade, connect, talk to each other, and, go forth from there. That's kind of the goal, is to bring some more users on board to Web2, which will help Polygon, which will help Cardano, and overall just onboard new users onto Web3. Because that's one big part, and the goal for this year is to just onboard and bring new users, new eyes, fresh eyes onto the chain.
Yeah, I totally agree on that part. And as far, I don't know, maybe you can release this now or anything like that, but when you guys kind of plan to be on Polygon, that's very interesting. I'm in the Polygon space too as well, so I'm kind of curious when we'll start kind of seeing you guys a lot more like in spaces and such.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of Q1, we'll start kind of pushing our vision to Polygon. And then hopefully by Q2, we can have that marketplace established, and with the social connectivity established on Polygon. Because I know for this Q1 is going to be the aggregation. So that we're going to bring in the marketplace aggregation onto Cardano. So that just gives users more opportunities to get more NFTs, instead of being very selective and having less amount of NFTs on there. And we have a lot of the Connect integration is going to be also in Q1, which is a soft launch. So it's not going to be the entire thing. We're going to bring the key parts of it. And then once we enter Q2, the whole connectivity side, bang, bang into Polygon. And, we'll have some cool features lined up then.
What other benefits do people have in actually using your marketplace? I know there's a social part of it and, everything like that, but is there anything else that you can kind of tell us about that?
Yeah, so with everything comes with our token. So right now we have an ISPO going on, which has been amazing. We partnered with Maestro, which is a very big ISPO provider. They have an ISPO marketplace that brings lights to a lot of other ISPOs. And you know, with the whole marketplace and Connect, our goal is to reward and bring incentivizing to the users per transaction. So we have a point system right now, and you know, we're gonna launch in Q1, end of Q1 to bleeding into Q2. We're gonna launch a point bazaar, which brings my idea of tangible assets and intangible assets where you can purchase with points. So every transaction you make on the marketplace, you can get points. And with points, you can convert to the token, which you can get through by delegating to our ISPO, which is live right now, which you get a lot of other bonuses that everything's laid out in the roadmap when it comes to like the bonus reward program. Essentially, the longer you delegate and the more amount you delegate, the more you get put into a category. And in this category, you get a boost, percentage boost of token allocation to yourself. So for example, we have the Megalodon, which you get an NFT and 20% bonus if you delegate for 24 epochs and 50,000 ADA. So all of this ties into the incentivizing part is the more transactions you do, the more rewards you get, and the more ways you can get, you either enter the point bazaar and, you know, talk about, you know, what you want to trade it in with or what you want to open to get more tokens. But essentially it's a big cycle system that gets back into the into our token.
Oh, that's interesting. And like the tokenomics and everything like that is in your white paper, correct?
Yes, sir. So our tokenomics, we got a lot of kudos for having the cleanest, very straightforward tokenomics, which is, you know, the goal with this is to make it very simple and easy for anyone to just get on our white paper and learn everything at once. But our tokenomics goes, I can quickly run it down. Essentially 14% of it is into the ISPO. So that's the ISPO and token sale, which is there. And then 38% is the community rewards. So we set the most amount to go back to the community. So this was the incentivizing part, is to make sure that, you know, the users are incentivized, users are paid out, and, you know, they get the benefits of using our platform. So we put the largest allocations to them. We have a 10% to the DEX bootstrap. So this is to make sure that you're able to trade our token, right? You can easily and reliably trade our token on a DEX. So we're going to provide the liquidity to the decentralized exchanges, so you're able to trade. We have the 3% to our staking. So, you know, with the community side, which we can dive into a little bit after, is Bombers. So in the very beginning, we launched an NFT project called Bombers, which is with Crashr. It's more so the community aspect of Crashr, where we brought this amount of holders and all these exclusive people in our Discord that if we want to bring new ideas or new visions, we talk to the holders, because we're community led at the end of the day. So we brought these holders, you know, we talk to them, whatever new updates we want to do, we push it out, and we, you know, these holders are the ones that get the benefits of it. They get a lot of rewards through the points, so they're able to stake their points, and they also have the whole portal, their playground, where they're able to talk with each other, host events with each other, communicate with one another, and, you know, they're able to stake. So this is where the 3% comes in, and you're able to stake the token. And then the final few is to development. Obviously, we want to push more things out. We want to get more things going. And then we have the 15% to the team and 10% to our investors. You know, we did get private investing in our pre-seed round at the very beginning. So this is the 10% that gets allocated back to them. And, you know, all of this also has a very specific distribution vesting schedule, which is fully laid out. So nothing's all at once. You know, it's laid out for 10 plus years. So it's very slow and growing vesting.
Okay, I definitely like that. And, you know, Bombers, like, yeah, I remember seeing that kind of like around, and, you know, why Bombers, right? And two is like, what other kind of like hidden perks can you have with Bombers, right? And then of course I have some follow-up questions too about the artwork too as well that I'm very interested in, because I remember seeing that come across my timeline. So yeah, why Bombers?
Yeah, so Bombers I was in streetwear, so my big thing was the hundreds. I love the hundreds, that little bomb logo they have. And, you know, I thought like, all right, let's make some streetwear cool, you know, PFPs. So that's exactly what we did. You know, we made some hipster type, you know, streetwear type profile pictures. We were going back and forth with our designer a lot. We spent a ton of time, honestly. to make sure that this is streetwear-esque, it matches our vision and it matches, something cool that someone would want to rep on their profile picture. So, when we built that, we were thinking, okay, we weren't focused on the fund part of it because we already have pre-seed funding. So our goal with this wasn't to let's get this cash and start building. We launched our Raffles platform before we even minted the bombers. And that was our whole proof of concept part, was like, we're going to build this. We're going to have the bombers reap all the benefits, but let's show them what we're able to do. So, this is when we launched the Raffles platform, which is risk-free minimum tickets, which we launched in the very beginning as our main bucket to get some users onboarded. And what we did with this was we made the portal. So this is where the portal of being a holder is the biggest benefit you get, is you get your own whole playground where you're able to stake your bomber and get points. And you're also able to see other users, other bomber holders through a leaderboard to make it a little gamified approach. But the biggest part, which bleeds into our whole roadmap down the line, is events. So you can create events and partake into community events, and to bring in face-to-face, bring in real-life events down the line when it comes to, let's say there's a group of holders in LA where I'm based. There's like 15 holders. You can go on our platform and schedule an event for those LA holders. And only holders can do that. So they're able to bring that tight. Now, of course, you can bring plus ones or whatever it may be. But this was our whole approach of that community side of that tight-knit side that's going to grow with us from the very beginning and on. And any reward benefits that comes along. For example, for the ICPO, you get benefits if you hold bombers. And down the line, when we have social connectivity, there's going to be specific features that these OG holders and all these community members have been with us. They're going to reap these benefits.
All right, so you said kind of like lifestyle, like type brand too as well. Like, is there kind of what I gathered too? Is there maybe some like merch coming down the line, or is that something you can kind of comment on?
Yeah, we're definitely having merch online. I'm building that right now and having some very, very cool inspos. I'm actually helping some other projects with merch right now too, because I built a huge presence in LA with merch. I have thankfully a lot of connections and a lot of factories that I can get very low price garments and really high quality garments, right? So I'm trying to bring that to Web3 as much as possible, because I think the more real life Web2 stuff we bring onto Web3, the more it can grow. That's like my whole vision with this. So as many ideas I can bring from Web2 that I'm like, that's hard hitting. Like that needs to be, we need to see that more. I'm going to try to bring that along and help as many projects as possible.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely like projects that, still incorporate Web 2, because we haven't really hit mass adoption just yet though. But a lot of those projects that actually put something tangible in someone's hand, right? I think that would be able to onboard a lot of new people too as well. But speaking of onboarding new people, right? How do you guys plan to onboard some of the new users, right? The people that are new to NFTs too as well onto your platform?
Yeah, so the best way I can bring is simplicity. Is instead of usually bringing users on board and they have to bookmark 15 different things to find when the next NFT collection is coming out, they can see it under one hood. So that's the goal. This was we're gonna actually soon. We announced this on our Twitter recently, or X. We're gonna bring a lot of how-to videos and a lot of basic information that not everyone would know on Web 2 onto Web 3. Simple stuff is creating a wallet, buying your first NFT. When's the next collections coming out? Who's launching? What's the top projects? All of these type of stuff. It's going to be very laid out, simple onto the website. So all you need to do is send your buddy the link, Crashr.io, and they can learn everything they really need to learn about Web3 and be in the forefront of it without needing to jump from, let me go to this calendar website and then let me go to this Discord to see, when this is coming out. Let me get verified here. A lot of these other avenues that usually not unmotivates these people to, get onboarded, because they're like, this is so much work, right? And that's what the bridge I'm trying to fix, is making it simple for them to use. And building on top of that, we're going to bring a lot more benefits for other projects. So, when it comes to a B2B side, the more other projects can grow, the more the community grows. And that's the whole forefront of Crashr is to grow the whole community, grow everyone, because we want to grow the blockchain as much as possible. So, working with other projects to see how can they work better to bring more Web 2 to Web 3. And that's, tie that in directly with us. And then we kind of work alongside each other.
Yeah, I like that, right? Like, being simple, right? So someone doesn't have to do like bookmark so many different things, right? And you speak of NFT projects, right? Can you tell us some of your kind of like favorite ones, right? That you've had so far, right? And like some of the projects that you're like, big fans of. You can give me like they don't have to be in order, but like maybe your top 5.
Top 5. I gotta say, when I'm born, I love Ape Society. I
do
think
too.
they're amazing. Yeah, they're great. They give me that old school, like, I don't know, it's amazing. I really like what they do. Spacebud's very OG. They've been here for a very, very long time. I really love what they do. Recently, I've been looking a lot into Goofy Gopher's Mining Club. I think they're doing great. They're bringing the whole mining side of things onto the NFT, making it easier for people to mine, get some more mining benefits from strictly an NFT. I think that's great. Let's see. It's not necessarily an NFT project, but the whole Tap Tools has been really cool. They came in with the whole Dex and their Tappy by Tap Tools to bring some more plus benefits to their website. And that's kind of like, seeing all these type of things, I'm like, oh, like we can do something like that too. It's like we bring some plus benefits to an NFT, and that's the biggest part. When I look at projects, I see utility and longevity of it, and obviously art. Of like, if you're holding this, like, do you reap the benefits of that project? Are you well inserted in their whole like cult-ish, community? And from seeing these, those are my top ones. I love them.
Yeah, definitely like huge Ape Society fan. Maybe I'll have one day though. But when they started dipping down in price a little bit, I was like, "Ooh, I'm getting ready to pounce." But of course, they recovered here pretty quickly. You use that word utility, right? And everybody kind of throws around, right? Here nowadays, like, in Web3. But what does utility mean to you?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. And utility with NFTs is a very big topic, right? Because, at the end of the day, NFTs are an asset, and with your asset, you want to get benefits, right? So utility, what I think about utility is longevity of, as the project adapts, more adaptations to utility comes. So just benefits, I'd say. So what benefits are you gaining from this asset? And are those benefits adaptable, right? Like, because there's obviously a lot of changes in the space. So, when I think of bringing utility to the bombers, is what else can we add to them, and what else can we help these bombers and get them more benefits? And also, what can we adjust to make it even better based on new growth, right? Like, if let's say we raise a seed round, grow a lot, get everything we want to, or the ICPO does amazing, we want to bring that portion to benefit the bombers. So bring utility, bring benefit. I think that it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, 100%. And I remember somebody stumped me with that question like 2 years ago, right? So now I ask it to everybody, like, some of the people that, are complaining in the comments or in Discord or whatever. I'm like, well, what does utility mean to you? Or what is utility? And it's just usually like, just like me, when I first got that question, I would say it. And I'm like, oh man, well, I don't know. Right. So it was just like, you have a very great answer. I like the way you already had that, like that was a very, very good answer. But, as we're talking about NFTs, right? And, the tech and everything like that, like, where do you kind of see NFTs being in the next 5 years? Do you see it kind of like being like an emerging technology, or like, what's kind of your take on the NFT tech itself?
I honestly think it's going to grow much, much more down the line as blockchain grows as a whole. Because I think it'll be more bridged into Web 2 type of things when it comes to filing systems in like legal law firms, for example, or I know real estate, when it comes to having deeds on a property or having liens on a property, whatever it may be. Those can easily be converted to an NFT and save so much time, so much issues when it comes to transferring, because it's on the blockchain, right? So I think the more recognition NFTs get, the more it would grow. And the more of we can just hone in on the tech part of it, like you mentioned, that's how it can grow even more. Because a lot of people, outside of the scope of Web3, when they hear NFTs, like, oh, the apes, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, or, like they think of the very basic version of what an NFT truly is. And they don't really connect deeper when it comes to the tech and how it can save someone from getting scammed because it's on the blockchain and you can't duplicate that, right? Like you can't edit how an NFT is on the blockchain. It's all one of one, and that's the beauty of it. So I think, down the line, the more it grows, the more other Web2 firms get involved with it and start utilizing it in their own ways. It just grows the whole ecosystem as a whole.
Yeah, 100% agree, and that's why I'm kind of like in this space too as well. And speaking of like kind of the Raffle platform that you have too, I kind of want to get back to that and touch on that. Like, what's going to make yours, basically different from everybody else's, and it's going to make them want to use yours over everybody else's?
Yeah, so Raffles was our very first thing we came out with when we developed. Before everything, really, before the marketplace, before the as we're building Connect, it's risk free. So that's our first thing. Was when I noticed is there's a lot of risk when it comes to raffles with other projects. Is you go into a raffle platform, you contribute to it, but then you can lose if nothing happens, right? You lose all your ADA, you lose all your rewards. But instead, having a minimum number of tickets to be purchased before the raffle goes, that brings safety of, okay, if this raffle doesn't fulfill by that time, everyone gets refunded under the smart contract. So that's our first step, was to bring a risk-free approach so more people can use it. Instead of lower, or let's say newer people, for example, they want to get on board, but they don't want to risk losing their first NFT they just bought. So they're going to put a minimum number. It's like, all right, I will only do this if this amount hits this many tickets. So that's the first thing we did, was that. Then we introduced the bundles, which you can attach 10 NFTs into raffles. So if you just got into the space and you want to get a NFT, instead of going out buying 10 NFTs, you can contribute to a raffle and potentially win 10 NFTs, and then boom, you're already ahead of the game. And then we brought in a lot of different customization to each raffle. So we brought 56 different native tokens onto the raffle system, so you can raffle through different tokens. And customize a smart contract to the T of however much you want and whatever you want to do with it. And that was the whole approach: bring customization, bring risk-free, and raffle more NFTs at once under one smart contract to make it simple for everyone to use.
Oh, yeah, I definitely like that. I mean, we're talking to, you mentioned security earlier, right? Like, how do you guys plan on keeping this all secure? Like, how is the security of the marketplace?
Yeah, thankfully, I'm very grateful to say very, very secure. So our team right now has been focusing on security and sustainability. So we have 3 full stack developers that focus on this. So we have 3 full stack developers that focus on building, maintaining, and making sure everything is up to date and works well. And we also have 2 smart contract developers that double check our smart contracts, audit everything consistently, and make sure that everything's to the T how we want it to be. We've had a few other external developers come in and take a look at our smart contracts and make sure we don't miss anything. And they did that, and we edited whatever there was. And obviously, if there is any tweaks, we fix it right away. But thankfully, these developers, they're detail oriented. Like, they to the T lock in on anything that's wrong. So I'm happy to say that we are always up to date on development, and Ash has been a huge help when it comes to development too. He's my co-founder who focuses on the project development side. And he's been working on that really, really well with these developers.
Oh yeah, I like that. I definitely like that, a project that takes security, serious and whatnot. But as far as the whole NFT landscape, right? We've been talking about NFTs, right? Marketplaces and everything like that, though. But is there any other sectors of crypto that you're very bullish on? I'm sorry, not so much crypto, but Web3. Like, is it gaming, or what kind of other sector do you think is actually going to emerge in this next kind of bull run?
Yeah, I think gaming definitely is a huge one. I'm getting myself into a little bit more. I want to learn more about the gaming side. But one thing is mainly the SaaS part of it, the software as a service, like bringing in more softwares onto the platform for other projects. So, for example, minting services when it comes to new projects, and when they want to mint new NFTs. We're in talks right now, and our goal is to launch a minting service very soon as well. But also the data side of blockchain when it comes to data management, or obviously with the marketplace, huge databases, huge data coming in and out through Cardano, through the blockchain. And that's one thing that if we can find a way to make it easier for an everyday user or an everyday developer to get their hands on more data, that'll grow everyone, right? So I'm very bullish on the data side, on SaaS side when it comes to B2B, like minting services, token side of things. Those are my biggest parts. But gaming as well. I think gaming and NFTs go hand in hand very, very well.
Yeah.
And I think especially I've noticed on Polygon, huge. So I've noticed, like, I think these sectors are just going to blow up soon. I think as tech grows, as we get some more developers, because I know Cardano is very tight knit, low amount of developers. But as that grows and we start bridging and start bringing other chains on board, the sky's the limit, like it'll only go up from there.
Oh yeah, 100%, right? And I definitely like, gaming, film 3 and, everything like that. It's going to be a very exciting time in this next kind of like bull run, right? But kind of like getting back to like the bear, right? And you guys actually kind of like building through this bear market, like, can you maybe describe how hard it was to actually sit here and kind of grind through this bear market, and what kind of lessons have you learned from it?
Yeah, definitely. We launched like right in the midst of the bear, and we pushed through. Our biggest parts last year was all through bear. And I think the fact that we're pushing through this, and not just us, but like any project and everyone, right? The fact that if you can get through a bear, you can get through anything. And that's my whole mentality when it comes to it is, if we can get through the hardest part, we can always get through whatever, business throws at us, right? So I learned a lot when it comes to managing developers or managing the team, and how, communication with one another, because a lot of people, other projects too, some of them get, less motivated when it comes to it because of, other projects. Some projects are dying, some projects are growing. So it's a war zone out here, in the midst of a bear. So just learning from the growth of it and all the struggles in the beginning, before we even raised or did anything, we knew what we were getting ourselves into. I knew what I was getting myself into. It's going to be a battle and hard work and a lot of dedication. And I was ready for it. And, we pushed through it, and, we see the light at the end of the tunnel every time. So every little hiccup, we had a huge hiccup a little bit ago when it came to the marketplace. There was a few delays. And, learning from that is just adjusting timeframes and adjusting how you're going to portray that to the community, and, just grow from there.
Yeah, 100%, kind of agree on that too as well. And, as we're sitting here talking about this next kind of like, bull run, right? It'll be the first one I've really had a chance to experience from like the beginning, right? And we're having the halving coming up and everything like that. But do you have any kind of like predictions on how like, NFTs will do, or actually crypto in general, like meaning like Bitcoin and everything like that? Do you have any like maybe like some hot take predictions for this next bull run we're going to have?
Yeah, I honestly think Bitcoin. I've been looking a lot into Bitcoin, and I've always been involved in crypto for many years now. Like, as just an investor looking into it, what to purchase, what to get. So I've been through a few cycles of everything, and being the governmental approach to Bitcoin now, that it's an ETF, and we're heading into the halving, and then we're heading into a lot of these mining companies growing even more. That all, I looked into it. I did a little bit of predictions. I'm not, obviously not financial advice, but I'm thinking for sure 6 figures by the end of the year. So we're going to hit 100K. And, I looked into, I think it was Tim Draper predicted 300K or something like that, like 250K, which is honestly very possible the more this grows. And, being an ETF now, that brings eyes on not just Bitcoin, but blockchain as a whole, because it's easier for a regular investor to get into this without needing to go through the hurdles, right? So that's going to grow ordinals, so the NFT side of Bitcoin a lot more, BRC20 tokens a lot more. And then as those grows, these people getting into it, they're going to start learning about Polygon, Cardano, Ethereum, all these other stuff. So everything's going to just start growing and growing. So I think, I mentioned this actually like, I think 2 quarters ago. I said that Q2 of 2024 is going to be massive for crypto. And, we're headed straight to it. I think it's going to grow way, way bigger than we even think.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that too as well. It's going to be a very interesting and very, exciting time, actually like kind of in this space, right? And as we're talking about like, like all these, like different kind of like, blockchains and everything like that, like, is there like a specific one that you like really really want to be on as of right now, or is you just kind of focusing mainly on Cardano and Polygon?
I've been loving Cardano and bridging Polygon. I think those are my main two that I'm fully focused on. Yeah, because I want to grow as much as possible on Cardano and grow the community here, and then show Polygon what Cardano is, right? Like the community side of it and whatever it may be. So that's my main focus right now. Obviously, at this moment, Cardano still, I want to push out as many cool new features, community building features, project features as I can, and then showcase that to Polygon once we're ready to bridge over.
Yeah, definitely. I love Cardano, Polygon. Those are my kind of like my two kind of ones I kind of hang out in. And do you guys like have any spaces, or do you guys are in a lot of spaces, or where can people kind of like find you, like on X, or mainly is it the Discord kind of where it's at?
Yeah, so on our link tree, we have our Discord on there. I'm always active on the Discord. I've been trying my best to get on as many spaces as possible as well. We'll be hosting a few spaces ourselves very soon. I think we have one actually on Monday. And this is very interesting, actually. It's a Polygon project. They bring in tangible assets into NFTs, all through a chip that you can sew into the clothing. So that's going to be a very interesting one on Monday. It's Infinity. They're a very cool company. Met them in LA, and we talked a little bit more. So we're gonna dive into it with them, and just build on there, learn from them, see how we can work together more, and then my goal is to have a lot more spaces hosted on Crashr, so bring light on other projects. So the more you see us on Twitter, we're always here.
Yeah, and that's great. I love like that's a project that's out there and hosting spaces and very active in Discord and Twitter or X or whatever. I love that. And if you guys can give me like any kind of like future alpha that you have, is there anything that you're kind of like developing that you can kind of maybe like hint at, or maybe I don't know. I don't want you to get you in trouble or anything like that though. But do you have any, like I got to ask this of different projects? Do you have any alpha that may come out like late next year, or anything you can share with us?
Yeah, I think the biggest one that we're trying to get logistics down and get everything down is a mobile application on the App Store. That's our huge one. Hopefully by next year. Obviously hard to put a date on it, but we're trying to bring everything we're doing onto your fingertips. So you're able to maybe buy, sell, trade, depending. Obviously, there's a lot of logistical issues when it comes to wallet connectivity, but when it comes to socializing, we want to bring that to the phones. So that's the goal, right? I'm very confident it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, not if.
No, I like that. I like that a lot. And speaking of like Crashr and everything like that, you're talking about next year and all those things. Like, where would you guys like to be? Hopefully everything goes right. The world doesn't end and everything like that. Where would you guys like to be at the end of the year?
End of the year, fully establish our marketplace and connectivity on Cardano, and fully establish our connectivity side on Polygon as well. Hopefully by Q4, we get all of that locked in and fully launch our token. And our ISPO ends, I believe, on April 29th. So, hopefully we have a successful ISPO. We get a lot of delegators. So, if anyone's wanting to learn more about the ISPO, a lot of the benefits are on our white paper, but that's our big push, is the ISPO, and then push our roadmap and hopefully fulfill everything we've been pushing out.
Yeah, I like that too as well. And you guys, you can find their roadmap. It's all on their Twitter and their LinkedIn and everything like that. And I don't want to ask you like too, before you go, right? Is there anything else that you want to say, or any community members you want to shout out, or any team members you want to shout out before you go?
Yeah, huge shout out to everyone in the Discord. Our moderator, we have Mask, we have Ash has been working a lot close with me when it comes to development, so huge shout out to them. And huge shout out to the Bombers folders. They've been us since day one. They've been working with us a lot when it comes to new ideas, new visions, input, whatever it may be. They've been working hard with us on the holders chat, so always looking at them. But at the end of the day, we couldn't do it without a lot of our moderators. So, Mask, Ninja, Madge, you guys are the best. Keep pushing. And anyone I missed, I'm always thinking of you guys, so don't worry. But huge shout out to the community.
Yeah, you're gonna get flamed for that, for missing people. They're gonna like blow you up. No, and just so we can be sure, like the the coin offering is still April 29th, so they can go ahead and get in on. Is there like a minimum or maximum, or you have any more kind of info on that?
Yeah, so the ISPO, you're able to get on it right now. So reward per ADA right now is 0.01 Crashr, and you're able to delegate to reap the benefits. There are a few minimums, so instead of boring you guys on it, it's the whole distribution and everything's on the white paper. But you can check out our section on Maestro, which is our ISPO provider. Don't be late on this because a lot of the bonus rewards change, and the longevity, however long you stay on it, changes as well. So the earlier you in, the more rewards you get, and the more we grow. Which we're pushing a lot of really big things this year that are lined up. So your ROI will be nice, and you will be part of something very early. So I highly recommend getting on the ISPO. We just launched a few partnership with SPOs. So we have Rumor, K-Top, Happy, and Elemental. So those are a part of our ISPO offerings as well. So, you're able to work with a lot of our partners and also reward yourself in the meantime. So huge thing is the ISPO. Highly, highly recommend just taking a look at it and, delegate, get in the epoch early, and you'll be golden.
Oh man, that is great. And Zeus, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. And guys, this is going to kind of wrap our show. If you like content like this, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on X. Follow Zeus Crashr on X too as well. All this stuff's going to be pinned down at the bottom. And I will see you guys around in the next one. Take care.
Appreciate it. Amazing.